Hi, I'm Greg Perkins with Oak Ridge Bellows. Today we're talking about two-ply testable bellows, specifically those on a Westinghouse crossover unit. This is a Westinghouse crossover unit sitting right behind me, and these are all two-ply testable. And what you'll notice there on your turbine deck is you've got a tap that comes out of this cover. What that tap goes into, it goes directly between those plies. And if you've ever walked by it and it's got steam coming out of it, that means you've got a failure in the inner ply. But what you need to do every now and then, when you have short shutdowns, is you need to test between those plies. And you want to be, and I'm going to talk about how to do that. You want to be careful that you don't, send your maintenance guys up there and you put shop air at 110 psi between those plies. That'll implode that inner ply. You don't want to do that. We've got a fixture here I'm going to talk about that you should have at your plant that will make it easier for you to test those two plies, and it'll be safe to be able to do that. So, what you do, and by the way, this is this tank right here. This came from Walmart. It was 30 bucks, and these fixtures, ordered them right off of Granger. And you go to our website, you can download a PDF that will tell you how to build this. You probably build it for under 60, 70 bucks with all the parts, and it goes together real quick. So what you do with this, when you apply pressure, and I was going to mention one more time about the if your maintenance guy were to go in and put the pressure right between there, and even if they were using a regulator and using 50 or 20 psi and then shut it off, you would, after about 5 or 10 minutes, notice a dramatic pressure drop, and that might give a false failure reading. What's really happening is when you put pressure between those plies, the sidewalls of those bellows will relax, and there's such a small pressure, such a small volume between those plies that any dimensional changes in those plies will give you a false reading. So to prevent that, we need a larger volume, and this is why this tank is also handy for that just as well. So when we pop this between there, we tie it in there, and you've already charged this with 15, 20 psi of air, and you shut it off, and now it's captured in there. Now we put it between there. You've got a gauge here. This one reads 1 to 30 psi. Then you open it up, and if you put 20 psi of air in here, you'll drop down a couple of pounds because it went into that bellows. You wait 5 or 10 minutes. You may even see a small pressure drop, maybe a pound or 2 pounds, and that's that relaxation that I talked about. But after that, hold it steady state, and 30 minutes to an hour, then no pressure drop, then that means you've got a good bellows. You know what? You could even leave this thing overnight if you wanted to do that long of a pressure drop, but 30 minutes to an hour will tell you what you need to know. You also want to do a soap and air on all your fixtures to make sure that's where you're not getting a leak. If you do have a loss in pressure, well, guess what? Your two-ply testable is doing its job. It hasn't leaked to the outside, but that means you need to make some arrangements to replace that bellows. And there's a couple of different arrangements, and the best one is ordering a cartridge bellows replacement, so that if you do have a problem, it can be replaced, or even maybe even better yet, scheduling this for a refurbishment. You can give us a call. We'll walk you through all those options. Anyway, that's how you test one of these, and you should be doing that. At least once a year. You want to know more about Westinghouse crossover units or GE crossover units, go to our website at oakridgebellows.com.